Hello everybody in internet land. Sylph, Dominic, Hawkins here, coming to you live on Wednesday night, Wednesday the 7th of October 2020. I hope that you're well. I hope that it's been a good week. And this is our Wednesday night Hoshinden meditation and Energywork session. Yeah, this is session 25. What? That's crazy. And, you know, it just rolls on till the end of time. We're going to jump straight into things tonight. So I'm feeling pumped. I hope you are too. I've had a good day. The weather's been nice. Life is good. I hope that things are well for you. Happy birthday shout out to some of the students at the start of October, the dojo. And if I have missed your birthday in the Facebook posts, send me a aggressive message and I will make a thing for you. Hope that you're well. So let's get into it. Where you're sitting, where you're standing, we're just breathing in and out. We'll just take a moment. So we're going to get straight into the 5 explorations of the 5 senses. Wow. I probably need to just sit for a minute, don't I, before I've just finished cooking dinner. Ah, yum, I can smell it right in the house. But no, this is about listening first. So I'm going to begin by closing my eyes and I'm just going to listen to the sounds that I can hear. As I breathe in and out. What can I hear? As I take my attention, the audible sensation. What can I hear outside this space? As you take a few breaths, deep in through the nose, down into the belly, and out through the mouth. Just enjoying what you can hear. And now taking your attention to the sense of smell. As you're breathing in through the nose, down into the belly, what can you smell? Dinner just cooked. Or that amazing loaf of bread you've just made. Breathing in and out. As we take a few breaths in through the nose, down into the belly, and then out through the mouth, take the opportunity to clarify the detail on the sense of smell. Don't write it off as no smell. What is there? Subtlety and aroma. And now moving our attention to the sensation of taste. What can you taste in the air, in the space around you, inside the mouth? What can you taste? Subtlety in the taste sensation. And now with your eyes open or closed, what can you see? So as we stare out into vague space, and you're less interested in the details of the things in front of you compared to your peripheral vision and the increase in information. So what can you see broadly as you just vague out into the space in front of you, staring beyond the wall, beyond the windows or the objects. What can you see? How much of your surroundings can you bring into your conscious awareness while you're just peering forward through an object or through the wall? And now, what can you feel down to the tactile sensation, the sensation in the body, where it meets the ground? Put my attention on the sense of pressure where the body meets the ground. What can you feel when you look there? Breathing in and out. And just relax. Relaxing your focus on the 5 sensations. So, the mind itself cannot think beyond mind. We cannot think ourselves to experiences beyond thought. And the mind is very good at further dividing the information that it already has, but it thirsts on new information and new cognition that you can then further divide and formulate and put together and structure. And so these types of meditations serve an awesome purpose for us in being able to provide for ourselves some moments of new information, whether that's things we've been looking at for 20 years, the same furniture, the same wall, or perhaps sounds that we've heard for decades, the same music tracks that we love. But our interest is letting ourselves become awash with new information, even if they're old things. That information might come in the form of relationship experience, that which I consider is myself and the furniture, and that which I consider is my relationship with the furniture, and how those things could change if I move the furniture to a different part of the room, or if I hear a slightly different version of the song that I have related so much of my life to. These things could drastically alter the way that I interpret that information. These meditations are an opportunity for us to just take a moment. How many of these moments do we take in our lives, really? When you don't have someone weekly badgering you into compliance, to sit down, take a breath, and listen to the sounds that you can hear. And if you find while you're doing these exercises that you like the outcomes or you enjoy the experiences and the consequences that come, then you simply do more of it. It's very easy if it's providing enjoyment or wonder, curiosity. Sit down tomorrow and take 5 minutes. Sit down the day after that and then take 6 minutes. And then on the weekend, sit down and listen and maybe take 7 minutes, and 8 and 9 and 10 minutes, and just listen to the sounds you can hear. Smell what you can smell. Taste what you can taste. See what you can see. And feel what you can feel. Tactile. And then get on with your life. The rest of your day. So, 8:12. This is going to be a short session tonight, probably only about half an hour. We're going to plow into the breath. So we're doing this over the last few weeks, but the last 2 weeks or so I've been dedicated to going back to the flame hand activity. So now we're going to roll back to where we were a month ago. In that activity, we're going to be breathing in through the nose, down into the belly and filling the lungs, really fill the lungs. So when the lungs are full and the kidneys can grab at the chi of the lung, the very base of the lung, and it's that fullness and satisfaction feeling in the breath. Such that the breath stretches the ribs, stretches the whole lower part of the diaphragm and the muscles around the back and the kidneys, so that you breathe in until the lungs are stretched. And out through the mouth. The belly fills first, then the chest rises later. The chest collapses and then the belly contracts. And the inward breath takes effort. So the inward breath requires concentration and force. And the outward breath, the exhalation, is just a natural release, return to equilibrium. That your diaphragm compresses, it wants to compress. The pressure of the air in your lungs is so different to the pressure of the air outside of you that it wants to re-find its equilibrium. And so the outward breath is effortless. The nihavana, the out, to blow out, to extinguish. The outward breath is just the function, the consequence of the inward breath. And we could sit on that mentally, we could meditate on that for the next 15 minutes, but let's not. You do that in your own time. What we're going to do instead is, as we breathe, we're going to take a full breath in and we're going to hold our breath. And we're going to watch the heartbeat as an experience, the sensation behind the breath. So we're going to take 2 full breath cycles, so breathing in and out. Stretching through the ribs and diaphragm, breathing out. And one of my singing teachers always used to get me to put my hands on my ribs like So the next breath in, we'll take a big breath in and then hold. And just hold the breath for 5 seconds. And watch the heartbeat. And breathing out. And breathing in again. And hold. Exhaling. And in. Holding. Exhaling. And every time we breathe in and hold, we're going to allow the heartbeat rhythm to come higher into our priorities of observation. So breathing in and out. And out. And in. And hold. And out. And back to normal breathing. So we could do this as a form of pranayama and breath control. In for 5, hold for 5, out for 5, hold for 5. And we end up forming breath geometries, certain angles and shapes of breath. But this exercise isn't that. This exercise is just to highlight sensation without focusing on breath itself. So it's not a practice of yoga. It's not a practice of the observation of breath. It's actually a practice of the observation of the physical tactile sensation, and we're using the heart as a vehicle of that. The other thing we're going to do as we breathe in and out is watch the trapezius and the shoulders, and where the head sits over the shoulders and over the hips. And when you hold your breath, suddenly you can feel that tension. Drop the shoulders. Continue holding the breath, but drop the shoulders. Soften the chest and torso. Relax into the belly and see where the head sits on the shoulders over the hips, so that the heaviness of the skull is taken through, the force is taken through the shoulders and the hips, through the spine strategically. So we'll take another 2 just normal breaths. In and out. And now this big long breath in, filling the belly, and then holding, relaxing the body and the frame, holding the breath, relaxing the shoulders, and then just placing the skull on top of the shoulders, on top of the hips, so that it weighs nothing. And now exhaling. And then breathing in again. Filling the lower part of the ribs. Holding the breath. Relaxing the body. You keep holding your breath. I'm having to breathe out as I talk. The head sits over the shoulders, over the hips. Shoulders are soft, torso is soft, chest is relaxed. The abdomen is full. And we want to cultivate the chi in the breath of the chi. So that we're helping to develop jing, this sense of body, innate body energy, something that gives rise to the arising Shen, the arising spirit. As you breathe in and out. Pardon me. I think I've yawned in every one of these sessions. So as we're breathing in again, holding the breath, relaxing the body. Breathing out. How are you going with observing the heartbeat? Breathing in and hold. Watch the heart. How strong is that pulsing rhythm, the heartbeat? Can you feel it? Almost feels like your whole body could be moving back and forward. But if you open your eyes, you realize you're still. Breathing out. Another breath, breathing in and out. Fill the belly, fill the abdomen. Hold the breath. Breathing out. Soften the body, breathing in. Breathing out. And back to normal breath. As you just let your natural breath cycle take over. Wow, does something to my voice. Does something to my voice. So, vehicles of liberation through different cultures, and martial arts as one of them, like yoga, can spend a lot of time highlighting breath. Because by highlighting breath, the vehicle of liberation as an activity is able to continue to force the consciousness of the individual into the processes and happenings. And it orients the self to those processes and happenings as opposed to other thoughts or hours spent imagining dramas, cataclysms, or even good things. Its interest is in what is happening here. And so I often say one of my favorite realizations of decades of these types of meditation is how phenomenally boring the world is. And how incredibly slow everything happens. And being a Gemini, it's been a funny realization for me over the decades through meditation that the world itself, the universe, isn't moving anywhere near the speed of my imagination in terms of the vast processes, and that's actually a good thing. It means the things that terrify me are very slow in moving, and the things that I've run away with in my mind, where I've pulled the rug out from under myself of the ability to make changes in, actually the development of those things is still 400 years behind where my mind has taken it to. Everything can be adjusted and everything can be altered. And then we find ourselves having more insight through these activities in how. How do you do that? And it's a question of timing and alignment with those outcomes and experiences that help us to feel like the little rowboat that we are, is actually moving with the stream as opposed to rowing upstream. And sometimes those rivers fork, into 1,000 different directions. It's amazing when we just sit and listen, we can see those things coming very slowly. I like your comment, Hannah, that as someone who moves slowly in their thoughts, your realization is that things are actually moving really fast. I hadn't considered that. Maybe it's both. It's just the perception of the observer, hey? So we've got a few more minutes. We're going to go back to this activity. And what I want you to do is, as we're taking this breath and we're just holding the breath and observing the heartbeat, we take the moment in the quietness, in the silence, as we silence the breath, to find out what is happening around us, what's creeping in around us. The sounds kind of accentuate into longer versions of themselves, or the smells really deepen. When we pause the breath, it's as if we pause our experience in those moments through the process of living and dying. So you're either breathing in, like culminating in the gathering of, or you're breathing out and expelling. And in the middle of that, in the pauses, are sublimity. There's this kind of quietness. So what is there as we breathe, beyond just the heartbeat and the heart rhythm, that's going on around you right now, that's just happening? And you see it maybe at the speed that it is for you. So we breathe in and out. And again, breathing in and out. And we breathe in. And we hold the breath. And breathing out. You just relax. In the stillness in those experiences, I sometimes find myself thinking, wondering, without the breath, is this what the world sounds like to the tables and the chairs? Or perhaps the trees? This life process going on. But without this constant cycle and the sounds and experiences of that right in your face. It's amazing how quiet the experience itself can become just by pausing and stilling the very thing that keeps us alive. So I hope that this has been fun. It's a very short session for tonight. I didn't want to spend too much time. I don't want to take us through that too much at this point. We'll build up to that next week. We'll make it a little bit longer and we'll do a little bit more of that breath holding. And we'll build back towards the 1 hour with that activity. So I hope that you are well. You have a good rest of the week. I will see you on Friday for the Friday Hoshinden Philosophy and Theory session. Have a good night. Bye.